My name's Misha, I'm 19 and I'm from Manchester.
All I'm asking, woo, is for a little respect when you get home, baby. To purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Oh, let me see your hands now. Don't make me close one more door.
So I wanted to kind of just give my response in regards to what was said, the things that have been said over the years, and what she has experienced and what she's had to endure as a result of her time on the X Factor show. First and foremost, when I was watching Misha B, I was 13 years old. I'm now 22, and I remember actually seeing some of this commentary at the time, and I was thinking, nah, like, something ain't right, fam. Like, something ain't right. How can you give commentary on someone's performance, yeah, and you're now bringing things from backstage to the main stage? This is a show that millions of people are watching. Talisa and Louis' comments immediately is going to now taint the public perception of Misha B. That was so wrong. And the fact that this happened all the way in 2011 and it's only being spoken about now speaks volumes. The entertainment industry, I think Britain in general, the racism when it comes to like the media industry, the entertainment industry and everything, it's not directly in your face, but it's very subtle, and you have to see past the lines to see how people are playing into this whole stereotype of racism and stuff. So yeah, you've got Misha B. This is a dark-skinned woman. She's talented. Like, yo, when I saw her audition, I already had my cards on the table for her to win. Like, she was a clear winner in my eyes. And people were intimidated by her greatness. You know, like, Misha B was doing bits for herself. She was singing, she was not only singing, she was rapping, and she had a whole persona to herself. She had a whole vibe. Like, she was a big deal, fam. She was a proper big deal. You know what, I even remember the week that Misha B went out of the show. I think she got to the semi-finals, so she came fourth. But I remember the week that she performed that day, like, to me that was clear injustice. Like, her performance, everything that she sang literally came from the heart and came from the soul. Like, you could literally read the performance like this was real vibes, this was real energy that we were getting from her. She was not only a great singer, but she was a performer. She was very entertaining, and people were intimidated by her greatness. Now, I don't know if it was just that people were intimidated by her greatness, or if people were also intimidated by her blackness. It's interesting because when you've got a black person that's coming up, a black person that is, you know, they're moving on to great things, you feel me? Like, when you've got a black person proper doing things for themselves and making a name for themselves, you then start to get this whole like, oh, you're too overconfident. You're admiring this person's greatness, but then you're now calling out their feistiness, you're now calling out their attitude. But these are the things that you loved from the beginning, but now you're calling it out because you want to try and taint the perception of Misha B, so that perhaps one of the other contestants, the way can be paid for them even more. Overconfident, feisty, aggressive, too loud. These are words that are often used to assassinate a black woman's character. You know, my friend tweeted something last night, and she asked a question whether the word feisty was ever used on white women. And my response was that I highly doubt it. The word feisty seems like it's been ingrained in people's lives from very young, that it is a word that is purely reserved for black people. I've never heard anyone call a white woman feisty. You know, a black person can just be doing their day-to-day activities, but they're feisty, they've got attitude, they're too aggressive, they're too loud, boom, 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 boom. And that to me is mad, and it's a stereotype, and we need to be rid of these stereotypes. Even when I was watching Misha B's live, yeah, the girl just seems like, she seems like a gem, bruv. Like, I can't see no fault in her, innit? She seems like a lovely person, and the whole of her message just seemed like she was always uplifting and always encouraging people. But it seemed that the producers and everyone from the top orchestrated all these lies to tear her down. And you know how sad that is? In the beginning of this video, you see that Misha B was 19 years old when she went on the X Factor. And to have to endure all of that through her time on the show is a mad thing. I'm 22, fam. And if I was a singer and I went on the X Factor and I had an experience like that, bro, I don't know, because that's mad. People are tainting the perception of you. People are attacking your character and saying that you're something you're not. People are branding her as a bully, saying that she's saying things about the Little Mix girls and all the other contestants to try and taint her character. That's mad. Apparently Gary Barlow's written in a book about how the X Factor manufactures their own dramas from the show. Because of all the bullying, because of all the scandals that have been out in the press about Misha apparently being a bully, she does not have a chance of winning the show. And the fact that she's even a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman, her chances are twice as slim. You know, as black people, it's been ingrained in our lives from very young that we have to work twice as hard. We have to work twice as hard to succeed in everything we do, purely because of the color of our skin. So for her to even get to the stage that she got to was an achievement in itself. But she was being teared down. You know what I love when I look back at Misha B's performances, yeah? Is that when you even watch the live of Misha B speaking about her experience on the X Factor show, you look back at her performances, you see the songs that she sung, and you hear how she's singing it, and you can just tell that this girl was going through much. Looking back now, I can tell that she was going through much. But back then, I was a young boy. I only knew things on a surface level. But now looking back at it and hearing her story, I can tell the girl was going through a lot. That's mad. She said that Kelly and Gary were the only judges that ever checked for her. Talisa spent 0 time with her. Louis, no one cares for Louis, let's be real, innit? Talisa spent 0 time with her, and apparently Talisa always had what she wanted to say scripted every week. And you know what's mad? I remember watching it, and for me, watching that year of X Factor, my winner was clearly Misha B. But if it wasn't going to be Misha B, then I liked Little Mix. And I only liked Little Mix after they sang En Vogue. That's when they were banging, innit? Before that, nah. But apparently even it was Kelly that suggested that they sang En Vogue and all this. And Kelly even put the group together, I believe. So Talisa, like, fam, pure jealousy, hatred. It's probably underlying racism as well. Like, you assassinated a black woman's character. If it wasn't for all these claims that people were making against her, the producers thrived off it. To be honest, yeah, it's not even mad to me that that's what they did on the show, innit? It's not mad to me that that's what they did on the show. But for a reality TV show to now, like, do that to someone who's a contestant on your show and treat them in that way, this is pure mistreatment. When you know the context, like, this girl's got, there's so much at stake. And when you know you're a big deal, why are you gonna be doing all them things? Like, it don't make sense. Misha said that one of the girls in Little Mix started crying when they were having a conversation, and the exec producer immediately escorted the girls out. You know, there's now a lack of care towards Misha B. There's a great care being shown towards Little Mix, but there's a lack of care shown towards Misha B. I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised. To even have Talisa on a panel sitting next to Kelly Rowland in itself.
That night, when those allegations and all that fuckery happened, I just remember I was on the coach, I was on my own, and I decided to sit on my own. I just needed time to kind of just breathe, you know. And I just remember thinking of ways. I'm not into that whole crying shit on camera because that ain't my steez. But let me tell you something. I remember thinking of ways to end my own life. You don't even know. Everyone in that house was an up. Every one of them were ups. Because enough people stood by and didn't say nothing. Enough people stood by and didn't say a damn thing when they knew it was wrong, when they knew it was lies. So when it appeared that everyone had kind of gone to sleep or just was out of the way of the front door, I packed myself a bag and I ran. From the mansion to the gates of the mansion. It's like a mile road, which is the path. I remember running, and I remember feeling like rain just slapping up my face. In the security at the end of the pathway, I remember just zipping past security with my bag on my back, just running. I ran to the forest. It was dark, pitch black. And all I wanted to do was get away. Then I heard 2 runners shouting, Misha, Misha, Misha. Yo, they took me back to the house and they called for my sister to drive up from Manchester and my family to drive up. So my sister came that same night and my sister prayed for me. She said, sis, I know you want to go. I know you want to leave. Remember, this is a marathon. You have to finish what you started.
So to drive all the way from Manchester to London for something that the X Factor bosses are guilty of doing towards a contestant in itself is mad. The fact that this girl has now had to have therapy after the show and is only now starting to learn how to trust people because she had trust issues from the whole show and she felt like everyone was a not, fam. I'm not surprised, fam. I'm not surprised. I think even just being black in itself, yeah, when you're in these environments that, you know, the bosses and everyone at the top is predominantly white, there can kind of be a stern atmosphere at times. And you can kind of feel out of place sometimes as well. But I thank God that Misha had Kelly Rowland on that show with her. I thank God that Kelly Rowland was her mentor at the time because that's someone that she can relate to big time.
Amazing to see my girl grow every week. She's come so far.
And Kelly said to her when all this was happening, you know what? You just got to keep going because people are intimidated by your greatness. It's mad what the entertainment industry does to black girls, you know. Like I said regarding Misha's performances, yeah, if you look back at those performances, you can see that all this energy manifested into proper performances. Like all this energy from all the backlash and all the things that people were putting up against her was used in her performances. Listen, when she sang that Who You Are song by Jessie J when she left the show, that for me felt like the most unjust exit on the X Factor show. She stated that she's not here for the fame, but she's here for passion and purpose. And that to me, listen, this girl's full of so much wisdom. She's gonna go places. Her auntie also said to her that remember that this is a marathon. You have to finish what you started. And boy, I think so many of us as black people can just relate to that. Like, we've been put in environments, we've been put in workplaces, we've been put in places that are uncomfortable for us. We've been put in educational institutions that have been uncomfortable for us, but we've had to finish what we started. Even if it was uncomfortable. Even if we knew that people were looking at us sideways. Even if we knew that people already had their assumed agendas and attitudes towards us already. We have to work twice as hard, y'all. It's deep. I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want this to blab on too much, but I think in general, yeah, that when you're a black woman or even a black man, when you're confident in yourself, when you love who you are, and when you don't live up to that stereotype that people place on us, people still try to assassinate your character. You know, in their eyes, we shouldn't be too confident. There's another clip of a mixed race guy on the X Factor, and I see Louis telling him that he's overconfident.
Listen, you're a great performer, you're a great singer, but you're definitely the most overconfident person in the competition. You need to become more likable.
And then next week or something, Danny Minogue is saying that I feel like you've lost your mojo. Do you see how they kind of reduce and degrade you in your performance and in who you are? Someone who's confident in who they are, you've now given this commentary, they stripped it back a bit and you're still not pleased. So do you know what, I'm just going to encourage someone today that if you're watching this right now and someone's not pleased with you and someone's not happy with what you're doing, to keep doing what you're doing. You know, we're not living for the approval of man, but we're living for the approval of God. So as long as you're correct and you're doing what God wants you to do, that's the most important thing. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Please like this video. Please leave a comment. Let's engage in the comments. Please let me know what your thoughts were towards this Misha B situation on the X Factor. And please share this with anyone you think needs to see this. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, fam.
Smile and grin, but trust me, darling, when it comes to my sis, anything. Growing up, things were tough without mother, but we were blessed cause we still had each other. 1 year apart, but you are more like my twin. You would be the person I would run to.